We're live? Yep.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to call this meeting to order on January 16th, 2023 at 1 p.m. We'll start the meeting off with a land acknowledgement. We respectfully acknowledge that the Township of Kapamonaghan is located on the Treaty 20 Mississauga territory in the traditional territory of Mississauga and Anishinaabe people. We offer our gratitude to First Nations for their care for and teaching about these lands. May we honor these people. Moving forward, we'll move on to looking for a motion to approve the agenda before us today. Councillor Natchoff, Councillor Byrne, in favor. That is carried. Looking for a disclosure of pecuniary interest at this time. Seeing none. There is no closed session, so we'll move on to the minutes. We're looking for a motion to approve the minutes of the regular meeting held December 19th, 2022. Councillor Byrne and Councillor Natchoff, all in favor. That is carried. Moving on, we then have two sets of minutes for the downtown BIA meeting on November 3rd, 2022 and November 19th, 2022. Looking for a motion to receive those minutes. Councillor Natchoff. All right, and Councillor Edgerton, all in favor. Those minutes are. That was not me. A little indigestion, maybe, I don't know. We'll move on. We are now at the first report for us, 9.1, the report on the mutual assistance agreement for building code enforcement. Kyle Phillips is with us. Mr. Phillips, go ahead.
Thank you, Mayor. Through you, Chair, the recommendations before you are one, the council approved bylaw number 2023-03, being a bylaw to authorize the execution of the mutual assistance agreement for building code enforcement between the Corporation of the City of Kawartha Lakes and the Corporation of the Township of Kapamonaghan, and two, that council approved bylaw number 2023-04, being a bylaw to appoint building inspectors from the City of Kawartha Lakes for the Township of Kapamonaghan.
Thank you, Mr. Phillips. Just a question that came up in the analysis of the report is in the reciprocal nature of the agreement. Obviously, City of Kawartha Lakes is a really big place, and could take theoretically you or people doing in your position doing your work quite far away from the municipality and incur costs associated with doing that work. Is there somewhere in the reciprocal agreement that I might have missed where mileage and expenses of that nature are also covered for the individual, or is that just sort of netted out in the wash between as a part of the agreement or a natural cost of doing business?
Through you, Chair, to you. So you'll see what in Schedule A of the bylaw has the set fees, what they're going to be. So that was worked out between the two of us, so it would offset. It would be, a lot of it is kind of incumbent upon having respect for each other's time. So they do have a large region that goes pretty far up north. So they'd only be using me for that type of thing where it's really needed. They do have a lot more inspectors than us in Kawartha Lakes. So typically we wouldn't get called in for something like that. It's kind of agreed upon that we just be covering off things that are local to each other because we share borders. So worst case scenario for them, they would have to have an extra half an hour from City Kawartha Lakes. Worst case for us, I wouldn't foresee us going anywhere beyond Lindsay, any much farther than that. They do still have enough inspectors to cover things off. It'd be only if there was stuff in Bethany area, that type of thing, that we'd be covering off. So at any point in this agreement, we did draft it so that the party being asked for help can refuse at any time as well. So if they did ask for something, say up in north of Kinmount or something like that, and we just didn't have the time, we had too much of our own volume, we would just refuse. So.
Thank you, Mr. Phillips. Questions, members of council? Seeing none, look for a motion to receive the report and accept the recommendations therein. Councillor Natchoff, Councillor Byrne, all in favor. That is carried. Thank you, Mr. Phillips. Moving on to 9.2, report corporate services 2023-01, the 2022 election accessibility. I believe that's you, Ms. Page.
Thank you, Mayor. Before you and the rest of council is Corporate Services Report 2023-01, the 2022 Election Accessibility Report for information.
Thank you, Ms. Page. Questions with regards to the report? Seeing none, we will then look for a motion to receive the report and accept the recommendations. Councillor Byrne and Councillor Natchoff, all in favor? That is approved. 9.3, Council Committee verbal reports. I believe Councillor Natchoff might be the first of us to have a verbal report.
Thank you, Mayor, through you to the room. Ms. Page was kind enough to forward to all of us the minutes from the meeting in, I believe it was the early part of December. It was the first meeting of the new board, and it was to approve the budget. All, I believe, 10 members of the board all voted unanimously in approval of the budget, and I'm just awaiting to go attend the next meeting coming forward. I'll keep you posted. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Councillor Natchoff. I think most of the committees don't start until, I think mine is the first one, doesn't start until this week. So this is just the point of the meetings where we'll give the brief summary of the overview. So we're looking forward to those as the committee work starts. So that's excellent. Thanks for that report. And we'll look for a motion to receive the verbal report from Councillor Natchoff, Councillor Edgerton, and Councillor Byrne. All in favor? That is approved. There is no general business. There is no correspondence for information and no correspondence for action. And with that, we will read the bylaws. Bylaw number 2023-01 being a bylaw to provide for the levy and collection of the 2023 interim realty taxes and penalties for non-payment thereof. Bylaw 13.2, bylaw number 2023-02 being a bylaw to authorize the temporary borrowing of funds to offset the current expenditures of the township. Bylaw number 2023-03 being a bylaw to authorize the execution of the mutual assistance agreement for the building code enforcement between the Corporation of the City of Kawartha Lakes and the Corporation of the Township of Catamonigan. And bylaw number 2023-04 being a bylaw to appoint the building inspectors from the City of Kawartha Lakes, be read a first, second, and third time and passed this 16th day of January 2023, signed by the mayor and the clerk, and the corporate seal attached thereto, moved by Councillor Natchoff and Councillor Edgerton, all in favor of those bylaws. That is approved. There is no unfinished business. Any notices of motion? Seeing none, we'll read the confirming bylaw. The motion, with regards to bylaw number 2023-05 being a bylaw to confirm the proceedings of the meeting held January 16th, 2023, be read a first, second, and third time and passed this 16th day of January 2023, signed by the mayor and the clerk, and the corporate seal attached thereto. Moving for the confirming bylaw, Councillor Edgerton and Councillor Natchoff, all in favor. That is approved. Lastly, a motion to adjourn this brief meeting on January. Councillor Edgerton and Councillor Natchoff, all in favor. That is approved. There's a few upcoming meetings and events that we wanted to bring to your attention. There's a special budget meeting on Thursday, February 2nd that begins at 1 p.m. That is also followed by a public meeting concerning the budget at 6 p.m. on that same day. And then our next regular council meeting is on February 6th of 2023 at 1 p.m. And then there'll be a final budget meeting on Tuesday, February 21st, 2023 at 1 p.m. Thanks very much, everyone, for joining.